And so please describe to me what the aesthetic look is exactly.
More like this guy here.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and bring
Oh wow, you really have to come in here?
like this guy.
Is this
No,
is this really happening? He met the other guy behind you, bro. Like I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm right into that bad boy.
You can stay right there, behind the camera, behind the camera. No, see now you got me jealous now.
That's okay.
That's not
no,
fair.
But you're more in the category like Luther Rickman, Arnold, okay?
My man. Yeah. Arnold Ferrigno. Huh?
Okay.
Aesthetic. That's great, partner. You two ever go out place everything in its proper place?
That does not make sense, but we usually do go. We head to Kroger's, and we work.
Oh, yeah. I've got a lady waiting for me back home also. She has the most beautiful scrotum. Oh, God. And when she sings, she sounds just like a puppy dog. How do you nail a photo?
Just gotta get in the mode. You gotta talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes. You
Okay,
gotta
so
have the eyes
can you show me a little bit of something, like to this camera? I would love to know how to do this. I just want to know.
Well,
How
I
do you do it?
mean,
Teach
the
me
smile,
something.
You can get the sexy eyes. Then you gotta get the smile going on some shoes. But
Wait, hold up.
you got.
I gotta
when
try
it's
this
time,
with
when,
you.
it, when it's
Hold
time
on.
to laugh,
I gotta try
you
this
gotta
with
think
you.
of something funny and start
do
laughing.
it again. Do it again. How do you do it? Teach me.
Sexy eyes.
The sexy eye.
This is sexy eyes right here.
Smizing?
Smile.
So you're smizing.
Smile.
Okay.
And then you gotta get the.
No, I look like I need to take a poop or something.
Wish words were like little toy guns. No sting, no hurt, no one, just a bang, bang. Right?
Is that it?
Yeah, it's something like that. Just a bang,
Toy
bang,
guns.
rolling off your tongue.
Toy guns.
It's no smoke, no
Bang, bang.
bullets.
Water guns. All right.
Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild. Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody rise up. Weekdays, catch us live, somebody. Let's go.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal Show. Yes. Oh, I hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. You know what I mean? We are all out here having a good time. I don't know about you guys, but we had a wonderful evening show last night. Had a lot to talk about. We got into some really deep stuff, so I'm really thankful that people were able to be a part of the discussion last night. And also, I put out another video pretty much right after that show talking about some entertainment news. Because, you know, here it is. I was talking about this on the show last night, right before we signed off. And here's the thing. Sometimes you need to talk a little bit of popcorn. Sometimes you need a little bit of candy in the middle of this crazy 7,000 course meal of crazy news and bad news, anything that covers the RONA to racism, to Black Lives Matter movement, to Karens, to all this stuff. So sometimes on this page, I'm not sitting here trying to justify anything because I haven't had anybody complain about the content I put out by myself. But just saying out loud, sometimes you need to talk about stuff that just makes you laugh a little bit, or that's a little bit lighter, that isn't as serious all the time. So I did exactly that last night. I put out a video about Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith's open relationship and how there is an interview with this R&B artist, recording artist August Alsina, and how he was basically Jada Pinkett Smith's side D for a number of years, and it just recently ended. Oh, look at that! Look at that look on Jack's face of surprise. Yeah. So yeah, wow. Hollywood couples have open relationships. Get out of here! Hell yeah, they do. Hell yeah. What else is new? But anyway, like I said, not every video I'm going to be doing on this channel is going to be all about Karens and Black Lives Matter and racism and the RONA. So I just wanted to put that out there. Yesterday, it was really nice to just talk about something completely different. I'm not kidding you. As soon as I got done with the show, I opened up my phone and here's the new stuff. Something completely different. And I'm like, oh, thank you, Jesus. Something so different to talk about other than the RONA and BLM. I am so thankful for this moment right now. So thankful. So I jumped in on it and I just nom. You know what I mean? Like a bag of Twizzlers. I just devoured that ish. And it felt really, really good. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you just need to have a little bit of fun, right? So anyway, good morning to everybody. I hope you guys are all having a good one. And of course, my fellas, the fellas are here. Tommy Boy, Jackie, Wataguan. How y'all doing?
Hey.
Hey, doing all right.
Good morning. Good morning to both of you. That's interesting to hear, though. I mean, yeah, Hollywood.
Right?
I didn't see that stream last night talking about that, so that's pretty not unbelievable.
Like I said, you and I said it in the video, and go check it out. Please go take the time to check it out because it was fun. It's a little bit more light. It is opened up for discussions, so definitely comment down below when you do watch the video, or if you do take the time to go take a look at that video. And like I said, it's more dessert rather than just a full 7,000 course meal like we've been dealing with for the past 3-4 months now. But other than that, it's funny when like what I said in the video. It's funny when you hear these rumors about celebrities, and then when you hear these stories about celebrities all day, every day, and you go, no, that can't be true, and then only to find out that ish is true. There has been stories about Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith having an open relationship for the longest time, that they're swingers, that they have huge orgies in their house, like huge sex parties, I mean, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm not sitting here saying that just because they have an open relationship means that they are having sex parties in their house, but the open relationship part is true. So what else could be true?
Yeah, the kids, all their kids?
Oh, those are definitely their kids, without a shadow of a doubt. Those are their children. But at the same time, you see what I'm saying? Anyway, just interesting Hollywood gossip. It was just nice to talk about something completely different. It's not really gossip. It was actually confirmed. So he was on a radio show, August Alsina. He was getting interviewed by Angela Yee. I mean, that's a reliable source. You feel me? And he said, yeah, I was in a romantic relationship with Jada Pinkett Smith. Will Smith gave me the go-ahead, gave me the blessing. I'm like, bruh, that's crazy. All right, then. I mean, shoot, some people don't believe in the nuclear family. You know what I mean? And some people do. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, I mean, for a fact, Will Smith getting it in with all of his leading ladies. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you that.
He's had his Independence Day.
Oh, dear God.
He's a bad boy for life.
He's been getting jiggy with it for a long time.
It's like the wild, wild west out there.
Yeah, he's been doing it Willie style.
Ooh, Big Willie style. Yeah.
Big Willie style. Thank you. That's what it was. Big Willie style. See what I'm saying? We could do jokes all day. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Should we keep going?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Or, and like I said, maybe he wasn't allowed to do this earlier because parents just don't understand. Deep cut. You're welcome. You don't remember.
I'll tell you what, this conversation is just a nightmare on my street.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. Oh, God, that was such a terrible song. We would play it all the time. You know what I'm saying? We would play it like it was going out of style, man, till that tape deck just... And then you pull it out, and it's like a bundle of just tape. And you're like, why? I spent $14.99 on this, man. So, somebody give me a number 2 pencil. You know what I mean? Nobody?
Yeah.
Nobody remember
I had that on record.
Oh, oh, look at you. Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
You had that on
got
vinyl?
Plenty of spins on the old Fisher Price.
I'm done.
Yeah.
Look at you. You rebel. Were you spinning too? Were you one of those dudes doing this stuff? Just...
Nope. No, I was, I think probably roller skating in the basement to it. Probably was.
Roller skating in the basement to it. Wow. I'm sorry. I can imagine just...
You got those wooden roller skates too?
No, I don't. I think they were like black leather. I think.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
Styling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's funny. Hey,
kind of like a Fresh Prince.
I was gonna say,
yes.
You just took that. Sharing is definitely caring, though. You know what I mean? And also, there's also people who are out there that sit there and say, like, all right, well, obviously, there's somebody made a comment saying it's cheaper to keep her. That's kind of savage. That's a little sexist.
True.
That's a little sexist, but at the same time, it's kind of like, all right, maybe that's on both ends. You know, maybe their prenups are putting them in a situation where, can't do anything about it. So, I will.
Just the two of us and the two of them. We can make it if we try.
I was gonna say we could definitely make it if we try. But that song's to his son, so that's not cute. That ain't gangsta. Yeah, we're gonna hit the pause button on this. Anyway, moving on.
There we go.
Hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful day. Hope you had a wonderful evening. And Malia, our friend in Australia, hope you're having a good evening down under. And everybody else who's watching around the world, hopefully you guys are enjoying your evenings, your afternoons, your mornings, whatever you are doing in whatever time zone you are in watching this show right through here. Anyway, moving on, we definitely got to go into some of these top chop. See what I did there? Top topics. Because, one of the things is going down. We just talked about a little bit about things that were going on in CHOP, or AKA the Chaz, or the Chaz, AKA the CHOP, or CHOP, AKA not going to be here anymore spot type of thing. So there's some breaking news. The CHOP is actually in the process of being cleared right now as we speak. Tommy Boy's got the story. Come on, Tommy Boy, speak on it.
Yeah, Reuters is reporting that Seattle police are working to clear out the CHOP protest zone after several shootings and the deaths of 2 teenagers. The move came after Seattle Mayor Jenny Durkin declared the gathering of people in and around the police department's East Precinct and Cal Anderson Park an unlawful assembly. Said, as I have said, and I will say again, I support peaceful demonstrations, but enough is enough.
So the mayor said it was an unlawful what again?
Unlawful assembly.
Unlawful assembly. So let me ask you this, or let me just say this out loud. Why didn't she say this before? Why now?
Well, I think, this was before. She's responding to the murders, I think.
No, I understand.
The first few days of it, there weren't murders. There are now multiple murders happening.
No, I understand that, but now it's become unlawful assembly. Now, not when they got all together and started doing whatever they were doing in CHOP, doing their own version of Lord of the Flies. You know what I'm saying? What's another movie with the kids get together and all chaos happens? I'm forgetting right now, but you know what I'm saying.
Lord of the Flies 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, yes. You know what I mean? And they're just popping and locking and putting pigs' heads on sticks while they're doing the robot and the worm and stuff. You know what I mean? Breaking. Nobody. Anyway, moving on. So the thing is that the thing is that my only argument here is that, yes, I understand maybe she just wanted to sit back and just kind of go, okay, let's see what goes down. I'm just going to see what goes down today for a couple weeks. But at the same time, I always wonder why it took her so damn long to jump into it and finally say, okay, yeah, now it's unlawful assembly. Now it's unlawful. Now that there are 2 people that have died. 2 young men, if I'm correct, that have died. 1 has been injured. It just doesn't make sense to me, you know? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here saying that why I'm not sitting here bashing the reasons why they were put together or why they were there. Not at all. But I'm bashing at the fact that it's taken so damn long to do something, to make some sort of result happen. People had to die before the mayor actually had to step up and do something about it. And I think that's a little lackluster in my personal opinion, you know? Tom?
What? Oh, me?
Yeah.
No, I don't agree with you. I think the first few days of the CHOP were fine. I think once the murder started, yeah, it should be shut down. But I think the early days of the CHOP were a good thing.
First few days, I agree. First few days. But when they start going and sitting there saying, oh, we have all these demands, we must have all these things, but then there's all this chaos that's happening within the CHOP. I mean, you can't tell me that that situation or CHOP was 110% safe the entire time. Maybe the first few days. Sure, I'll give you the first few days. Absolutely. At first, when they did that, I was like, oh, that's kind of dope. That's kind of dope. But then when you start hearing all the stuff that's going on in there, you start going, okay, this is getting a little ridiculous. Personally, right. Then people die. See, at first it was just peaceful. Then it starts getting weird. And then somebody dies. Now, when it starts getting weird, that's when I'm like, it should have happened. Ish should have happened when things started getting weird. No one needed to die. No, they didn't have to wait until people perish. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Well, it'll be interesting to see when they do clear it, what that looks like when the police go in there, because there are armed people in there that don't want to leave. So it's a difficult situation. I'm glad I'm not the Seattle mayor, because it would be kind of difficult to resolve.
Right.
But I don't know. I think it's time for it to be shut down now. I mean, people are obviously, people are getting killed. I think it's attracting people that are looking for a lawless society so they can, act like jerks.
Of course.
But I think in the early days, I think it was a good thing. And they set up demands for Seattle to follow. And, while all that was going on, President Trump said, send in the police with pepper spray and batons and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know that would have been the right decision either. My hope is that the people that originally set up the CHOP are able to have some of their demands met so they don't feel like they're walking away with nothing, because if that's the case, this is all just going to happen again. But, yeah, I mean, I think it's time for it to be shut down.
Yeah. I think it's been long overdue for the place to be shut down. In my personal opinion, you know what I mean? I think that I think this is one of the times that I will be more on the side of the assembly happened. Yes, for a few days it was like it looked like a cool thing, but yeah, I think the stay was too long. It's like it's like that moment where you got people who come in. It's funny. Chris LaRose just said it kind of in the same way I was thinking in my head. It's like, it's like you have a house party and everybody's over at the house party. Everyone's kicking it. Everyone's having a good old time. But then the liquor comes out. Then the hot damn or the fireball gets broken out. You know what I'm saying? And next thing you know, everyone's doing shots of fireball. And next thing you know, everything goes from 0 to 100 real quick. And next thing you know, you're going from your friends you're going, hi, I'm happy everybody's here. We're having the greatest time ever, aren't we? And then all of a sudden, somebody smashes the family vase or breaks a window, or suddenly there's a fight that breaks out between two people. And then you got to go, okay, everybody out. And it's like, well, maybe the everyone out should have happened when the bottle of fireball got pulled out. You know what I'm saying? It's like, here comes the cocaine. All right, no. See what I'm saying? Instead of, let's just sit back and see what happens. That's kind of what the mayor did. It's like, I'm just going to sit back. We're going to see what goes down. You know what I'm saying? It's just cocaine. People do it from time to time. It's no problem. And then all of a sudden, everybody gets crazy. Oh, yeah, I knew that was going to happen. If you knew it was going to happen, you should have just shut it down earlier. Maybe in not a violent way. You maybe try to find a way to do it as non-violent as possible. But at the same time, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Point for Pascal. No, I'm just kidding. Point for Pascal.
No,
okay.
I get the point.
No, I'm just playing with you, Tom. Go ahead.
I agree. I mean, but it's only been in the last 10 days that there's been gunfire and all that kind of stuff, and so yeah, I mean, I think now's the time to shut it down. We're getting killed, but I would say before the gunfire and stuff started, I thought it was a good thing. I started attracting people, or people are getting frustrated. but whatever it is, it needs to be shut down because people are getting killed.
Yeah. 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 It's about that time. Long overdue. Long overdue, for sure. Way overdue for that to happen. We got you back, Jack?
Yeah, I don't know what
Okay.
happened there. Skype just forced quit on me and then wouldn't restart.
Yeah, it's all good. Sounds like somebody needs a new computer. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, people can donate in the chat
Yeah, please.
area through Top Chat and get us all new computers.
Yeah, why not? Please. Holla at your boy. You know what I mean? We'd appreciate it. Anyway, Quattrell on Periscope just said, so a 3-year-old boy was killed in Chicago a few days ago. No protest or rioting. Wonder why. You know, that's very interesting information. I didn't even know about it myself. You know, so this is me reading this, and this is news to me as we speak. I'm sure.
Was the 3-year-old shot by police?
That's a good question. Quattrell, please comment on Periscope. Let us know, because we'd love to know a little bit more about that, you know, because that's information that I'd love to know for sure. But yes, CHOP right now, and they're like literally, are they literally flushing everybody out right now as we speak? Or are they
I
on
think
the
they're
move?
getting cops ready for it. It sounds like, it sounds like the police are preparing for it. This is all kind of breaking news out of Reuters and AP this morning. So
Gotcha.
it's kind of a developing situation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me. Okay. Well, keep the comments going down below. We're going to go on to the next topic for today. Well, it's part of our top news as well. We're just going to jump right into it because this is something interesting. Now, Terry Crews. Oh, Terry Crews. Terry Crews. You know, Terry Crews has been in and out of like the entertainment news as of late because of a lot of different things. Not only because of things with America's Got Talent, the drama that's been going on, that's been brewing over on that end. But he was just recently on, he's been trending on Twitter like crazy over the past few weeks because of his statements and because of his comments that he puts on Twitter, on the twits, about Black Lives Matter. And before we get into that, a little backstory. So Terry Crews was hired onto America's Got Talent. At the same time that he was getting hired onto the show, Gabrielle Union gets let go from, or actually, if I'm correct, I think they overlapped each other. So he was already on the show already. But as they're getting ready, as they're gearing up for a new season, for like the 15 millionth season, I feel like they have 17 seasons in 1 year. But anyway, I digress. They announced that they're letting go of Gabrielle Union. Gabrielle Union goes to Twitter, goes to the public, goes to the news, and says they are firing me because I I was very upset about how they were treating me. They were asking me to soften up my look. Some of my looks were too black in their personal opinion. They wanted things to be more, catering to a white demographic, et cetera, et cetera. This goes out on Twitter, goes out into Black Twitter, goes out to the news. It's all over the place. This is not new news to anybody right now, right? So everybody turns to Terry Crews because he's the other guy. He's the other black guy in front of the camera on that show. And he says nothing about it. He doesn't stand up for her. He doesn't say anything. He just says nothing at all. He goes on to The View. He goes on to other things, and he tries to put out his plea, but it makes him sound really trained. And it sounds like a man who doesn't want to lose the bags to support his fellow co-host, his fellow sister, the whole nine. So, moving on. Black Lives Matter. The Black Lives Matter movement is happening. It's doing its thing. And Terry Crews goes on to Twitter and basically says something along the lines of, we don't want white supremacy. Like, white people need to come together with us so this does not turn into black supremacy. Now, of course, this is getting retweeted. Everyone's like, the hell are you talking about? This is the most ridiculous tweet we've ever heard. So now, and he's been under fire for this. So BET Awards were this past weekend. He is nowhere seen. He is nowhere to be found at the BET Awards. In fact, the host of the show, Amanda Seales, made a comment about how he wasn't there. Basically along the lines of like, oh, well, Terry Crews isn't here. I wonder why. So he basically says later on that he wasn't even invited to the BET Awards, AKA brother lost his black card. I'll just say that. So he goes on to Twitter and he tweets, and I'm going to read what he tweeted. Oh my God. See, now in the very beginning, this is the thing. He's the type of guy where he starts off pretty decent and you're like, okay, yeah, brother. And then he turns into just birdshot. You don't know where he's going. You don't know what he's talking about. It is all over the place. So this is the tweet. If you're a child of God, you are my brother and sister. I have family of every race, creed, and ideology. Not bad, right? Not bad. But wait, there's more. Same tweet, by the way. Okay, so it's a continued thought. We must ensure Black Lives Matter, hashtag Black Lives Matter, doesn't morph into Black Lives Better. I'm going to let that sink in for a second. Let me repeat that one more time. We must ensure that hashtag Black Lives Matter doesn't morph into hashtag Black Lives Better. Initial thoughts, guys. I would love to hear what your initial thoughts are on this particular tweet.
I don't know. That seems like a backup of his black supremacy type of statement, right? So saying like, because he had a further on, I think he had an additional thing that he put in context. He said, I was not saying black supremacy exists because it doesn't. I'm saying if both black and whites don't continue to work together, bad attitudes and resentments can create a dangerous self-righteousness. That's all. But, it's... he defended his other remarks saying equality is the truth, like it or not, we were all in this together. And so I guess he's trying to keep an eye on a large picture of everything going on and looking at the forest instead of the trees. Whereas right now, everyone's kind of focused on making sure that every tree's treated equal. So, whereas he's just kind of jumping the gun a little bit and is having this like fear of now there's equality, and all of a sudden that topples over to one race continuing to, like if you gain ground in one spot, worrying that it's going to happen and continue on to where one race is no longer equal again, like just a different balancing system. I don't know. I don't understand his thought pattern there. I think it's kind of distracting from the current point. It's like the one girl bringing up about Black Lives Matter, but remember the oceans and the factory plants and everything else. It's like, well, you're distracting from the current conversation, which is a very important conversation. And you're trying to be all, I don't know, it seems like he's trying to be philosophical.
Yeah, Tom, what do you think?
I mean, I think I don't really get where he's seeing anybody that's pushing black supremacy right now. It seems like these are pretty focused protests that are addressing police brutality and systemic racism. And there have been poll after poll after poll showing that the Black Lives Matter movement is bringing in more white people. I think there was a poll we were talking about last week from the Associated Press that showed that from like 2015 or 2016 until now, White people are like 17 to 20% more likely to be sympathetic towards the movement. So, I mean, I think it is a big tent movement, and I don't know where he's seeing the black supremacy argument from it. I just don't see that happening. So, yeah, it doesn't make much sense to me.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you guys. It doesn't make any sense. It's coming out of left field in a way. Personally, that's what I think. The second thing I would say is Terry Crews needs to shut his mouth. Like, I think what he needs to do is he just needs to put the phone down and walk away. These are the moments when you start wondering if Twitter could ever come up with a bot or a situation, like little program where they can sit there and say, hey, like 30 seconds after they post it, they can come back and go, you sure you want to post that? Just a little bit of a reminder, you know, so that they can go back a minute later or so and just look at it. No, I'm good on it. I confirm it. Beep, something like that. Now, the thing is the black supremacy conversation was something that was just ridiculous and unnecessary. And I understand in a way his intent, but it's coming off extremely wrong. Then he turns into this whole hashtag Black Lives Better. Let me say something about Black Lives Better. If it was Black Lives Better, then that would be great. I would love that. That means better life for all of us, a better life for the black community. That would be less to no police brutality. There would be no systemic racism. Sure, I'm so down for a better life for all of our black lives. Abso-freaking-lutely. I'm so down for that. Please make that happen. Let it rain on me, please. That would be dope as hell. But what he is saying is him trying to secure the bags. That's the only reason why he's making those tweets. That's all he cares about. He ain't worried about nothing except his monies. He wants to make sure that he does not get fired from America's Got Talent, because look at it. If you've seen America's Got Talent recently, which, just so you know, I have, the entire panel of judges, there's not one black person on there. There's no diversity on there at all whatsoever. They switched out Nick Cannon and gave Terry Crews the job. He is just as expendable as Gabrielle Union. He is trying to secure the bags. He is worried about losing that gig, and I guarantee you that gig is freaking delicious with money. I guarantee you that. So, he is scared of being pro-black right now. That's what I think. Because he thinks that if I go pro-black, if I go and say, put the black fist up, say Black Lives Matter all day long, I'm going to lose this job. And I need this job. Not like, it's not like he has any other gigs right now, at least as far as I know. He hosts, but this is the biggest host job right now there is. For him, at least. It's America's Got Talent. You know what I'm saying? One of the biggest shows on TV right now. One of the biggest talent shows on TV. So, hell yeah. He is trying to secure the bags, y'all. That's all he cares about. That's all he cares about. But there's no reason for him to say that stupid stuff, because here it is. As soon as you say those stupid things, you are going to lose a particular demographic. Hey, the demographic in which you've been a part of since you were born, yo. That are still eating up your shows. Still eating up movies like White Chicks that you're in. Just saying. Black Lives Better is the worst thing you could put out there, bruh. Especially right after you said black supremacy. You were literally trying so hard not to lose the monies. And that's really, really sad. I think you can have your statements or where you stand on a social level and not lose your job. Especially in this climate right now. Shoot. You could be leaning towards the Black Lives Matter movement even more. If you lost your job because of that, the Black Lives Matter movement would implode. So you're safe, bruh. You're safe. Say what you need to say. You know what I'm saying? Isn't that a John Mayer song? You know what I mean? Say what you mean to say. Just say it, man. Just get it out the way, bruh. That's just stupid. Anyway, he needs to just quit from Twitter. Shut the hell up. But it's a damn shame that, even now the black community doesn't really rock with him anymore. And he was somebody I really, he's an actor I really do enjoy for the most part. But when you start getting more concerned about the money instead of backing your own people, yeah, the people are going to talk back. That's what I think, man.
Makes sense.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Hopefully, we can still see a white chicks too in the future.
Not anytime soon. Not anytime soon, bruh. Nah. And actually, in light of everything that's going on now, blackface, brownface, any of those things, I don't think any black actors are going to be doing whiteface anytime soon. Because I think that if they do, I think that if any actor ends up doing something like that, the world would be up in arms. They'd be like, see? So if Jimmy Kimmel's losing his job and Jimmy Fallon's getting in trouble for it, why aren't these guys getting in trouble for it too? If they can't do blackface, then they can't do whiteface. You see what I'm saying? It would just be an ongoing fight. So I don't know if they're going to be doing a White Chicks 2 anytime soon, even though people loved that ish. People loved that movie. I thought that movie was pretty funny the first time I saw it. After you see it like the 15 millionth time, it's not as funny anymore. But at the same time, I thought it was funny when I first saw it. Real talk.
Yeah, it was good in the theater. It was one of those things where I don't remember growing up and never really seeing that full scale of I guess a white body being performed, and I don't know. I thought overall the movie was pretty funny. Everybody in the cast is hilarious, and so
yeah, I mean,
you mix them together in any movie, I think they would do well.
Very, very talented cast. Very talented cast. But let's click and drag ourselves over to the America's Got Talent cast. Let me say this real quick. They took out Gabrielle Union and they brought in Sofia Vergara. Okay, now don't get me wrong, very talented woman, beautiful woman, Latina. So she speaks. She's there for a different demographic. She spans the Latin community as well as the white community. She's got the hair and all that stuff, right? And you still have Simon Cowell. You have, what's his name? Howie Mandel. And you still have Heidi Klum. Very, very Caucasian panel. If you really think about it, very Caucasian. Here it is. Sofia Vergara was on one of the biggest sitcoms out there, Modern Family. Modern Family was a huge show in the white demographic. It was a huge show, popular show. So of course, she leans towards more of the, let's just say, European Caucasian demographic. Gabrielle Union and I guess we were hoping for Terry Crews. Gabrielle Union and Terry Crews were supposed to bring more of the black audience, or as they would say, the urban demographic. Now you got rid of Gabrielle Union. She says, hey guys, you guys are out here telling me I can't wear my hairstyles in certain ways. Can't wear an afro, can't do braids, can't do any of these sorts. Because it doesn't appeal to the demographic that you guys are trying to reach out to. So they get rid of her and they bring in Sofia Vergara. Do you see what I'm going at? Do you see what angle I'm going at, fellas?
Mm-hmm.
Sofia Vergara, she still looks like, if she didn't speak, she didn't have the accent, she still has a very European Caucasian look. She doesn't look like, I feel like somebody said this. She, you know, if I don't know where she is from, like where she physically is from, where she was born and raised, but you see what I'm saying? It's she still has very European features, very Caucasian features. So they brought her in, and of course she's Sofia Vergara, so she already has that crossover appeal. So you see what I'm saying? So they just kind of, but imagine if she was to wear any type of traditional garb, any type of traditional hairstyles, anything that would be representing her culture, other than just doing what, like, the American look, let's just say. Would she get fired from her job? Okay. Would she get fired from her job? That's the question I asked for you guys. I was asking you guys, but you guys weren't
I thought it was
responding.
rhetorical.
No.
It's really hard to tell when you're being rhetorical.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Half the time I answer and you're like, that was rhetorical.
Yeah.
Oh, well, my bad. But anyway, no, seriously. That's the question. That is a question.
Uh-huh.
So I'm throwing it out to you guys.
I mean, she probably wouldn't. I mean, honestly, when she is, she's been taking a role on in some major shows, and people seem to, gravitate towards her a little bit more. And she's got that, like, I don't know if it's being non-white or non-black. It's more of an appeal that, to overall people that doesn't, like, divide people, I guess, as much.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they probably chose her, obviously. I mean, it's here's the Modern Family chick, and here she's, I don't see anything that, even if she, like, put her hair into, like, cornrows, like, I imagine she'd come out and probably,
God.
like, didn't Julianne Hough do that?
Oh, yeah.
But was she on Dancing with the Stars, Judge?
Yeah, she was Dancing with the Stars. But
she didn't get canceled?
No, but then, of course, everybody would sit here and say, oh, she's culturally appropriating. Now, I mean, and and if you gotta realize that if Heidi Klum came out with cornrows, let's just say cornrow braids on America's Got Talent, for a fact, Gabrielle Union would be tweeting about this and making a fuss, understandably, because if it's on her, it's just a cute look. But if Gabrielle Union does it, it's too black. You see what I'm saying? Right. And that's
definitely double standards. I mean,
absolutely, it's stupid double standards. We do have a comment. Enemy Nation just said you said TC don't want to lose the monies, but then you tell him to shut the hell up because he will lose fans that watch his show. How does that work? No, I wasn't saying losing fans that watch his show. I was saying losing fans that watch him in general, that consume his content outside of America's Got Talent. You see what I'm saying? That's why he wasn't at the BET Awards. Because I would assume that he has a predominantly black following. I'm sure of course he's now crossing over because of being on America's Got Talent, of course. But he's got to shut the hell up so he can continue to secure the bags or say something in support of the movement rather than being fearful of losing the monies. Because when he starts saying something, and because he's trying to be, it's like he's teetering on the fence. He's literally like sitting on the fence, and it's kind of like, get on one side, man. Pick a side. Because right now you sound really off, and you're like contradicting your own words within one sentence. It doesn't make sense. And, you're shooting yourself in the foot. For sure. So that's what I'm trying to say. I
just want to note.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to note Sofia Vergara. She's Colombian, and she claims that she's a natural blonde. So she's, I think most people, when they think of Latinas, they think of dark hair. So if anything, she's actually making herself look more at least, the way we think of it, stereotypically Latina, then, her natural blonde hair might lead on, which raises a question, like if she's able to darken her hair to look more Latino, why are people wearing traditionally black hairstyles so threatening? Why is it so threatening for someone to rock an afro? Why in the year 2020 are we still worried about someone rocking cornrows or, an afro? No other cultural hairstyle is held to that same standard where it's like, oh, you look too Latina, you look too Asian, you look too white, you look too that. It's only black hair that gets that kind of hate.
It's true. I mean, do the judges or the people that own the show see that as a distraction? Is that like, oh, you can't be on the panel with an afro because then people will just be paying attention to you, but it's purely a like personal preference thing that they would be imposing on. That means that they're afraid of it, or it bothers them in some way. Like, I don't think it's the general public's view. It's.
I don't think people see it like that anymore, at least. Maybe back during the time that, even maybe now, it's just like, the civil rights movement back in the day, with the Black Panther, having afro might come off a certain way, maybe back at that time, but then now I don't think so. It's a hairstyle. It's just a hairstyle now. I don't think it automatically means, I don't think it has any sort of political or social commentary within a hairstyle. You know what I'm saying? But that's just my personal opinion about that, But yeah, Terry needs to shut the hell up, I think, or say something on behalf of, or here it is though. Okay, here it is. Let me just say this really quick, okay? Because if he really isn't for Black Lives Matter, if he really isn't for it, then just say it as well. It's like ish or get off the pot. Don't hover and do this weird tap dance thing, because people get confused, people get annoyed, and people start reading into what you're saying in a very, very bad way, in a very bad light. So instead of him doing that, I would just be like, hey, man, you ish or you get off the pot, man. Do what you need to do, say what you need to say, and keep it moving. Now, if you are totally against the Black Lives Matter movement, fine, bruh. It's cool. We will understand that fully. But don't give us some weird confusing statements that make no sense. When there's a huge where there's a huge community that actually turns to you and looks to you and wants to hear your thoughts, because you are somebody that is out there as a figure. You are somebody that is a public figure, whether you want to believe that or not. There's a lot of people that turn to you, that look up to you, So, anyway, we'll see how that unfolds, But he definitely needs to either come out with a statement and just be done with it on either side. And just be done with it. But anyway, we're going to go into a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to be talking about some wacky news. We'll be right back. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.
Hey, take off Ms. Feinberg, I'd really appreciate it if you would close your legs.
Do you find it distracting?
Power, respect. The festival is crazy in the streets. Deception, the fakers and leaks. Entertainers are trucking for tweakers and losing their seconds and nothing unique. All of us under surveillance. We was a feeling that made it. Half of them stumbling abroad and they faded. They live in the world that's degrading for people that's constantly hated.
But you see how he makes these S's in his body right here? That's where he's hanging on, and then he's moving forward with the locomotion of his ribs. That is classic Missouri rat snake right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab him before he gets into a hole. Now, these snakes are not biters. They won't bite as long as you don't squeeze them. If you just stop them like this, it'll freeze them, and then you just gently pull them back. As long as you don't squeeze them, they won't bite.
Yo, Mike, what's up, man?
Guy? Good to see you, man.
Yeah, so Sugar Fire.
Yeah.
Fully open, right?
Yeah, we're pretty much open. So you can't sit inside yet. Monday you can sit inside a little bit. We'll have 25% of the tables inside, and then we're letting it rip outside.
So I know that there's a lot of people really concerned about staying safe and all of that.
No,
so what are you guys doing in regards to that?
Well, we have extra people to clean and rub everything down all the time. Everybody inside's wearing masks. And we have little stickers on the ground so everyone can stay 6 feet apart.
Right on.
The tables are all spaced out, inside and outside.
Sugar Fire, open in full effect right now. They're staying healthy, they're staying clean. Go get you a rack of ribs. Sugar Fire, open right now.
Thanks.
The Fur and Leather Center, providing the highest of fur and leather goods.
You're gonna perform
I'm sorry,
tonight.
I can't make this interview boring because this
No, it's
man
not
is
boring.
too exciting as a host. And I'm truly saying this, and if y'all can't do this, me and this man here is gonna leave and go somewhere else so we can get some love. I want everyone in the building to say, I love Pascal on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Wow.
Homeowners and property managers, if you're looking for effective and humane ways to remove wild animals and deal with the damage that they have caused, we have good news for you. Introducing Wildlife Command Center, a professional nuisance wildlife management company specializing in providing animal removal for residential, industrial, and commercial clients. We are the only wildlife company that checks 70 different areas on a structure to determine the answers to the following questions. Exactly which animal are we dealing with? How is the animal getting inside the home? What kind of damage is the animal doing to the structure? Once we get the answers to all of these questions, we develop and write up an action plan to resolve the animal issue completely and provide a quote to implement that action plan. We perform a very in-depth 70-point wildlife inspection. From visually inspecting the highest point, the chimney, to physically crawling inside the attic space and looking for animals, chewed wires, fecal matter, chewed structural wood. We inspect everything. Our inspection process covers all of the following 70 points: animal-proof chimney cap, roof ridge vents, roof to soffit junctions, dormer fascia, attic gable vents, gutter lines, fascia trim, garage door, utility penetrations, water, gas, electric, and cable, bathroom vents, attic roof ridge vents, attic electrical, wiring, junctions, boxes, and lighting, concrete decks, additions, wooden crawl spaces, basement plumbing, penetrations, ceiling, floor, and wall. Wildlife Command Center's mission is to deliver the finest quality wildlife removal and pest control service that is safe for the environment. For more information, call us now.
Hey everybody, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If this is your first time checking out this show, please go hit that like button underneath the feed right now as we speak. And if you haven't done it yet and you're watching this right now and enjoying the conversation, hit that subscribe button on our channel. That would really, really mean a lot. Anyway, it's Wednesday, so of course we got to talk about a little bit of this wacky Wednesday news type stuff. Something's really interesting going on. I don't know if you guys know anything about Twitch. Shout out to all our Twitch viewers out there because we do stream over there as well. But this has to do with Twitch. Twitch is about to get sued or is in the middle of a $25 million lawsuit because a user of Twitch broke his penis. Tommy Boy, speak on it, man.
Yeah, a California sex addict is suing Twitch for $25 million after claiming that the site's overabundance of scantily clad gamers have caused him to injure his penis. In the lawsuit filed in Santa Clara County on June 15th, San Francisco's Eric Estavillo claimed that the Amazon subsidiary had subjected him to overly suggestive and sexual content from various streamers. He started, I guess, excessively masturbating at the female Twitch stars that were in low-cut dresses, that sort of thing.
They're also known as e-thoughts.
E-thoughts, okay.
Just so, e-thought.
An e-thought?
Yeah.
That's a word I didn't need to know.
So a thought, just so y'all know, just so you know, black correspondent here. So I'm gonna break it down for you really quick. Thought is that hoe over there.
Yeah,
so it's the acronym. I'm just letting y'all know, and there's some people out there that might not know what that stands for. But e-thought, there's thoughts out there. There's plenty of thoughts out there. They're just hoes. But they're also, you can be a male thought or a female thought. So the same thing applies in the Twitch world. There are e-thoughts out there that are, and I'll explain that really quick, that are girls that are dressed in a certain way. They look a certain way. All they do is basically act like they love video games, but they're really on there to wear low plunging neckline shirts, showing off their cleavage or showing off their curves, acting like they really do play video games, but they really don't. They are literally trying to get men or women to submit or give them money, because on Twitch there are certain things that you can pay for memberships, almost like a Patreon type of thing. And people can pay a certain amount per month so that they can tune in and watch said girl dance, act like they're playing video games, or talk to them. So a lot of people call those people simps. Simps are people who are, and there's girl simps and guy simps. A simp is somebody who will go and pay for somebody, for say an e-girl, give them financial gratification with no expectations of any sexual gratification coming back. They're just basically paying for their companionship. Now, this is something that has been big. Now you're starting to see a lot of girls and guys as well starting their own OnlyFans accounts, for example, where they are saying, hey, go follow me on my OnlyFans. I have scantily clad amateur, photos on there where you can pay a certain amount and you can get my photos specifically for you or for whoever wants to buy these things. So that is what a simp is. It's like, oh, I got this new photo shoot. Go spend $40 on my whole spread, on my whole photo shoot. And you can go and get those things and you buy those things. But you're not expecting anything. You're not expecting to go out on a date with them or anything of that sort. You're just financially supporting somebody that you think looks really good on camera. Continue, Tom. I just wanted to give those quick background stories real quick so everybody knows what the hell we are talking about. All right, moving on.
All right, so this simp was using a fleshlight on himself.
Yes.
It caused an extremely painful soreness around it. There was some redness, some mild infections that caused him to use Neosporin on the tip of his penis to prevent necrosis. This is according to the 56-page legal document. Imagine you spent all that time going to law school so you could draft up a 56-page legal document about this chucklehead hurting his penis looking at Twitch. I mean, you're probably still paying off student debts, all that kind of stuff, so you can write a 56-page legal document on this idiot hurting his dick.
Yeah, you can say dick. It's okay.
I think we could say dick. Yeah,
Yeah, you can say dick.
Yeah, Estevio also alleges in the transcript that he even once ejaculated on his PC monitor, which caused the gaming system to short circuit and resulted in a small fire that temporarily caused his apartment to black out.
Wow. And the funny thing is the inquiring minds would like to know if you masturbate so much, so frequently, wouldn't there be nothing in the chamber left? How could you go and do all that to a gaming system? That's a lot. You know what I'm saying? If you do this much, if you do that act that much, how can one, you see what I'm saying? All over the place. There ain't nothing left. Your balls are drained. You know what I'm saying? This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Tom, please continue.
Yeah, it's reported that Estevio is currently following 786 people on Twitch, all of them female gamers. He's not following a single male gamer on the entire site. And he's following 786 female gamers.
Oh my God.
He claims, I mean, I don't want to laugh at people's mental health issues, but come on, this guy's a clown. He says he has various ailments, which include depression, agoraphobia, Crohn's disease, OCD, along with sex addiction, have relegated him to surfing the internet in his apartment all day. And I guess rubbing his penis until it's like
raw,
getting infected. Yeah.
Oh, baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw. Like, what the hell is this? That's crazy. But you see, but the thing is he has Crohn's, right? He has OCD. Yeah. He has Crohn's. I'm assuming he has agoraphobia as well.
Yeah, he says agoraphobia, depression.
Right, depression, agoraphobia. I mean, it's like, how do you have Crohn's? Is no joke.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like, how do you?
Crohn's.
But no, yeah, I know some people with Crohn's too. But it's like, how do you have time to sit there and, you know what I'm saying, do the deed?
Maybe he's on the toilet while he's doing it.
That's probably what it is. It's got to be. It's got to be. There's no way. There's no way.
This girl behind me has been named in the lawsuit. Jade the Jaguar.
Yes.
Is named by Eric Estevio.
So here's the thing.
Allegedly subjecting him to overly suggestive and sexual content.
Exactly. So keep this up for a second, okay? Now, this is an e-girl or an e-thought, okay? She has no interest of being on here to play video games. She is on she's on that Twitch site to dress exactly like that, wearing tight clothing. Her face and makeup is done a certain very specific way, because that is literally the look of an e-girl. That's literally the look. It is the rosy cheeks. It is the winged eyebrows or eyelashes, with the eyeliner, the exaggerated eyeliner. She has the exact look of what an e-girl or AKA e-thought is supposed to look like. Now, this is the thing. She's not on here to play any video games, guys. She's here to make the monies. So she gets on there because she's got fake boobs or real boobs, whichever. She's got enough cleavage, so she'll be on there and click around and talk to people. And that's all she does. She just sits there and talks. But she's eye candy. That's it. I look good, so therefore buy my membership. It's only $5 a month or whatever. And that's what people do. That's all on Twitch. Or on certain days, they'll go and they'll dance, or they'll do a Dance Dance Revolution type game or something like that. But majority of the time, they're just showing off their body and they're just dancing for the guys or girls that are watching them live on Twitch.
They don't even play Excite Bike or anything?
No Minecraft, no Fortnite, no nothing. They're just on there to show off their boobs or whatever assets they, show off their assets and make money. And that's really it. Now,
like a model.
Basically. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, for example, a lot of these girls will go and have their own OnlyFans accounts. Like, I don't know if this particular girl has it. is freezing up on me. I don't know if this particular girl has it, but there's a lot of girls on there that will sit there and go, oh, so since I have 1 million people who follow me every single day, go check out my OnlyFans. And then on their OnlyFans, it's just them naked. That's all it is. It's just softcore porn, basically. And people will go and buy that stuff. So that guy is out here trying to, there's guys that, there are guys out there that will literally consume that kind of content every day, all day, or a day. So this gentleman is ridiculous. And there's no reason and there's no grounds for him to successfully get through with this lawsuit. And I'll be surprised if this even gets to court. Please let it go to court. I would love to see that. But I don't think it's ever going to happen. That's insane.
He'll just be sitting there in like the plaintiff's chair, icing his balls. I mean, seriously, I hope nobody tells this guy about Chatterbait. Nobody tell this guy about Chatterbait.
Or the rest of the internet.
Or just don't introduce him to Pornhub. I mean, he will dive all the way into that and never come out. Whoever's out there will never see him again. That lawyer will be like, hey, where did he go? Pornhub happened, buddy. Pornhub happened. But yeah, so that's crazy, man. But and let's talk about the world of e-thoughts or e-girls and simping, and I'm going to throw that out to everybody. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think it's fine? Do you think it's ridiculous? Comment down below and let us know what you think. Fellas, guys, I'm going to throw this question out to you guys as well. We're going to throw it around the room. Love to know what you guys think about this whole act of simping, aka e-girl stuff as well. You know what I mean?
I mean, if people want to go spend money on other people that are willing to put their body out there in one way or another, and they know that this platform has this, and they go there every day, if he intentionally follows just over 700 people that are only female gamers, I mean, he's gone in and made himself a niche, and he knows what he's going there for. He's obviously not utilizing the platform as its intended manner. And, that's, I don't know, he just seems real shady. And then trying to think that he can throw some kind of, lawsuit at the wall and see if it sticks. Yuck. And he, I don't know, the whole idea of I don't know, somebody being able to provide a service to somebody else, right? Whether or not there's sex involved or not. And to do that, I mean, if someone wants to spend their money that way, they can. That's fine. That's up to them. But don't go to a platform and complain about the platform if it has a wide variety of people on there. Obviously, on there, if they're promoting you to go out to another site like OnlyFans or something like that, that's their choice. And if that's not against the policies and the rules of the site to promote out to other sites like that, and if it's not against the rules to wear whatever you want to wear, which, what, they are wearing a low-cut dress, is that their fault? That's just like shaming women for wearing different clothing. Maybe that's what they like to look like every morning when they wake up. Maybe that's their style. Maybe that's what they're doing. And just because if you think that they look sexual, that's not on them. That's like victim shaming. Oh, you shouldn't look so hot, so I want to touch myself to you.
Tom, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, if this guy, he's not going to win this case, but if he did win this case, there would be no more strip clubs. There'd be no more Chatterbait. There'd be no more things where there are whole industries that are, based on sad, lonely men paying women to not have sex with them. I mean, that's what this is, isn't it? I mean, this is a shut-in who is paying money to women that he knows are not going to have sex with him in return. I mean, the entire pornography industry, the entire strip club industry is built around that. So if this guy wins this, which he's not going to, it would set precedent, I think, to shut down the entire porn industry, the entire strip club industry. So whoever wasted their time putting together that 56-page legal document, which I would love to read, that's got to be That's got to be the funniest book since like the Confederacy of Dunces. But yeah, I mean, it's stupid, but it's funny. I mean, I think it's hilarious. And this guy is previously sued. Who's he sued before? Blizzard Entertainment, Sony, Nintendo, and Microsoft. He sued all of them unsuccessfully. So this guy loves filing frivolous lawsuits.
Now,
but yeah, he's gonna lose.
Now, obviously, we'll see what happens as this story develops, because obviously this is something that has been going on since before the weekend. This news dropped like on Friday, so obviously more things will develop as time goes on. Now, when it comes to the e-girls and e-thoughts and simping and all that, I mean, hey, if it's not hurting anybody, do your thing. I think it's kind of a weird fetish. That's the way I look at it. I feel like it's like it's like this sugar daddy, sugar baby type of relationship in a way, or sugar mama. You know, we can't leave out the women in here. And that's the thing. I mean, I think that a lot of people will, it really depends on, I think as long as you're not hurting nobody, I mean, unfortunately, he was hurting his penis, but he was definitely hurting something. He was hurting somebody himself, but that is some serious, vigorous masturbation. But at the same time, that's an extreme of what I think what really happens. But yes, it does exist. I think as long as it's not hurting anybody, then do your thing. I mean, there's plenty of sex workers out there. This is just another form of it, I think, especially with these girls that end up not only, I mean, it is a form of sex work. I hate to say that. I mean, if you're sitting there, low plunging shirt, saying, hey, guys, come watch my show. And yeah, you might not be doing anything sexual, but who's to say what's going on the other side of the screen at their home? They could be doing all kinds of crazy stuff while you're doing that. You are bringing those guys in, those people in for that specific reason. So in a way, I look at it in that category as sex work. Sorry, I'm going to say it. Especially if you go, hey, go check out my OnlyFans. That's a dead giveaway. But at the same time, if you're sitting there dressed in a certain way, dancing and doing all this crazy stuff, you got a stripper pole in the background type of thing in the corner, sex work. Sorry, not sorry. But there's a world for it. Plenty of dudes out there that would love to tune into those things and eat it up. So I mean, if that's, as long as nobody gets hurt, I mean, good on you, I guess. I just think that there's better things that these e-girls and e-guys could be doing, other than doing that type of work or that type of world. That's just what I personally think. Good luck with the dude his lawsuit against Twitch. We'll see what happens, how it all unfolds. But he's fighting uphill, really. He's fighting uphill. So, you know, it's this Anakin Skywalker against Obi-Wan. He gonna lose the first fight, not the second one, where he disappears and everything in A New Hope. Nobody knows. Yes. Moving on. That's just some Star Wars nerdy stuff.
Hey, do you know how much money some of the top earners are making on OnlyFans?
Oh, dear God. You know what? I know some of these people are making millions, but hold on. Before you jump on there, before you say that, the only reason why some of these guys make millions of dollars is because they're gaming. Like Ninja was on there for a long time. He was making a crap ton of money. There was all these other guys that are making still on Twitch millions and millions of dollars. What I would love to know is top e-girls or top e-guys and how much they're really making money off of Twitch. That's what I'd like to know. Because gaming's one thing. People are tuning in for commentary and, you know, they want to see somebody like PewDiePie talk trash while he's playing Fortnite, you know? E-girls, they're just sitting there. So I would love to hear how much the top e-girls making right now.
Well, there's an Australian OnlyFans girl that's on here that can earn up to $30,000 a day.
Jesus.
From sharing like nude photos or not even non-nude photos.
I need to go get a pair of boobs for myself and go on there. Just, full on beard and just cleavage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like another woman earning more than $100,000 a year. I mean, there's plenty of people that are on there that are just making absolute bank. There's like groups on TikTok where they share and say, "Oh, go follow my OnlyFans," and like girls that are going on there and saying, "Oh, I'm only going on there and sharing pictures of my feet," and then like they show their money they're earning every day. They're like, "Yeah, I earned $3,000 yesterday from sharing photos of my feet," and it's like, okay, can I share photos of my feet? Do you want to go to my OnlyFans page, Pascal?
Yeah. Hell to the no. Thank you, but no thank you. Thank you, but no thank you.
Isn't that what didn't your sister come on and you guys were talking about that, and then she said she was going to just go and make an OnlyFans for her feet? That's hopefully she's not. Well, I don't know. It's up to her if she's doing that, but
Oh, right. Oh my God. Sorry. That's the thing. My sister. I'll be real. My sister was talking about it on the show about a month ago or so, and she was talking about starting her own OnlyFans, and I was adamantly against it. Against it. Abso-freaking-lutely. Are you out of your mind? That's my sister, man. You know what I'm saying? Like hell no. I am not about that life. I am not cool with that. I'm not cool with that. That's my sister. I don't like that idea. But there are a lot of girls that we know, fellas, that we know that we got a lot. There's a lot of girls that I know that have been on the show, that have been guests on the show, that have come in and out of the show, that have their own OnlyFans now, that do all these things like I'm talking about. And it's really, really weird. Beautiful women. Don't get me wrong. Beautiful women. Absolutely. They photograph well, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But still, to me, it's just something I can't wrap my mind around personally. And I just don't see myself personally looking at somebody and wanting to watch what they do, just sitting there just because they have cleavage. To me, it seems like a waste of time.
Right.
Because I know now, because in a way, it seems disingenuous. It's not genuine at all. It's just them there going, we're here to secure the bags. I'm not interested in knowing who you are. I just want your money. It's kind of the reason why I'm not a huge fan of strip clubs. Same thing. They just want your money. Yeah. Strip clubs equal casino. The house always wins. Doesn't matter if you walk in there and you see the most beautiful person, most beautiful girl in the world, and you're like, wow, I'm in love. They don't care. They want your money, and they want you to leave. They just want your money. You're not there. They're not there to have a conversation with you. They're there to get your money, rub up on you, ooh, and keep it moving. That's it.
So you're saying it's a profit deal. That's a jerk reference for you. That's a shout out to Carl Reiner.
Yes.
Oh, yes. But anyway, but that's just my personal thing that I just don't, I'm not for it. But hey, all those people are out there that want to do that, simp, all that. Like I said, stay, do your thing, stay in your lane, enjoy yourself. Nah. But for me, that's weird stuff. That's some weird stuff. And to sue somebody over it, kind of weird. Personally. Anyway, what else is going on in the wacky world of Wednesday news?
All right. Well, this is a strange one. I'm going to try and read this story. It still doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but I will try and get around it. A woman in Wisconsin was observed. I don't know how to put this. She was observed performing a spiritual ritual on a dead possum in the road. People called the police responding to a woman who I guess, pulled her car up to a dead possum in the road, grabbed a Green Bay Packers lawn chair from her vehicle, and then I guess got to work throwing goldfish and windshield wiper fluid on the dead possum while yelling at it to repent.
Excuse me?
Yep. Just reporting the facts here.
Wait, so she took a possum and did a ritual with the possum,
Yeah.
saying repent.
Yeah, I guess she was trying to
Wow.
make sure that the possum went to the good place and not the bad place. But I guess witnesses had kind of observed this woman driving somewhat erratically. This was around Waukesha, Wisconsin. And then she saw the dead possum. And according to witnesses, the woman got out of her vehicle, opened the passenger door, threw goldfish. Now, goldfish, I want to make sure people know this. Goldfish here is not capitalized. So I don't think they're talking about the snacks. I mean, maybe they are, but I think if it were the snacks, goldfish would be capitalized. But it says she began to throw goldfish and windshield wiper fluid on the possum. And a second person said the woman took out the lawn chair and yelled repent at the dead animal. A person who had been following the woman's vehicle called the police and reported her behavior was erratic. According to the police log, the animal, which was not playing possum, was removed from the highway. So these are stressful times for all of us.
Yeah. Wow. That is crazy. That is. You know what? Let me ask you something. This is a weird question. Okay, this is kind of a stoner moment. But just ride with me on this, okay? Mm-hmm. Inquiring minds would like to know. Because you know, she was telling the possum to repent for their sins so that it can go into possum heaven. Can an animal sin?
I don't think so, because they don't have souls. Isn't that right?
Wait,
isn't a sin kind of contingent on having a soul?
But here it is, though. If they don't have souls, then veganism doesn't exist. Or veganism shouldn't exist.
Right.
Right? So, then this is just for argument's sake. I'm not sitting here saying anything. I don't want to get on. I'm not trying to get on some weird soapbox or nothing. I'm just saying, for weirdness sake, and how weird this conversation is, something concurred. Do animals have souls? And what she did makes sense if we believe that animals have souls. I know that's a weird question, but hey, we're going there.
This assumes a lot here.
Yes.
It sounds like the possum was already dead, so it's not going to hear this woman's pleas for it to repent.
Facts.
If the possum was still alive, it's a possum. It doesn't speak the English language very well. It wouldn't really pick up on what this insane woman sitting in a Green Bay Packers chair throwing goldfish and windshield wiper fluid on it was driving at, and be like, why is this woman throwing stuff at me and yelling this gibberish I don't understand?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't want to make too much light of this, because obviously this woman has some mental issues, but this is just such a interesting, unique story. It's just goofy.
So, I did a quick, little on Catholic.com.
So, okay, here we go. We're going religious.
Based on a religion-based view of it. Do animals have souls like human beings? Animals have souls, and so do plants. But not saying that animals and plants have souls like ours. The soul is the principle of life. Since animals and plants are living things, they have souls, but not in the sense in which human beings have souls. Human souls are rational, and plants and animals aren't. Ours are rational because they're spiritual and not just material. Animals and plants can't do anything which transcends the limitations of matter. Although some animals seem clever, they don't actually possess conceptual intelligence. So they can't conceive of the abstract notion of justice. And animals and plants also lack a moral sense. When you scold Spot for chewing the carpet and tell him what he did was wrong, you aren't assigning guilt of sin to him since he can't commit a sin. Animals and vegetable souls are dependent entirely on matter for their operation and being. They cease to exist at death. Whereas ours are spiritual, and a spirit can know and love, a spirit's two chief faculties being the intellect and the will. So that's an interesting, way to put it.
Yeah.
All right. So boilerplate this for us, Jack. Should we yell repent at dead possums on the road or no?
Facts.
If it makes you feel like it is making your soul better to get into heaven for it, then yes.
Mercy.
Okay.
Will it necessarily affect the animal in a religious viewpoint? No. But elephants are said to be extremely smart. They do care about their other fellow animals. They are they mourn the loss of their loved ones. They remember where loved ones had died. When they redo their past, they stop and actually sit there and memorialize them. They can. I don't know. It's an interesting thing. Obviously, we'll never know. It's all about our viewpoint of it, is like saying, oh yeah, no, the animal doesn't feel like we feel. Yeah. But if you go and you take a dog's baby away from it, that dog whines and cries and knows that it's missing something. If you go and you cut a plant, is it gonna jump up and defend itself? Obviously not.
Right.
But are you hurting something? We don't know. How can you know if a plant doesn't feel? We're supposed to all be connected, right? So,
right.
If you go to what's the movie with all the blue people?
Avatar.
Avatar. Yeah. If you go off Avatar, then yeah, everybody's one soul. So.
Interesting.
I don't know, that's a deep conversation to have, Pascal.
I'm sorry. Like I said, it was my moment, as if I just went, okay, bruh. Do all animals have souls, man? Yeah.
Shower thoughts.
Shower thoughts. Exactly. Shower thoughts.
You know
now,
what? Yeah.
Okay.
We might all be proven wrong, though. I mean, this woman, many years from now might die herself and go up and meet St. Peter at the pearly gate and, be greeted by this possum. Stands up on his back 2 legs, shoots her a crisp salute, and says, hey, thanks for the redemption. Maybe she's on to something.
Yeah, maybe she is. Now, the thing is you also got to remember, is she going over to him and going, Possum, do you accept the Lord as your Lord and Savior? You know what I'm saying? And then if he goes, does that mean yes? Or does that mean no? We don't know. Inquiring minds would like to know. The other thing is if you rip a plant out from the ground, you don't hear it scream. So it's like, wait a second, if they have, I believe everything has energy. This is the moment where I'm out here in my rope sandals and smelling like patchouli and talking, got my hemp necklace around, and I'm like, hey man, everything has energy, man. I believe everything has energy. Or everything possesses an energy. Even so, animals, I think that they do too. Now, I don't think that they have the wherewithal or the intelligence to have organized religion or government or right or wrong. But at the same time, I do believe that there are souls in animals. They're just not advanced like us. Where we can have thought, where we know the difference between right and wrong. Yes, this is the weirdest conversation we are ever having today. But hey, it's Wacky Wednesday, y'all. So ride it. Anyway, no, I'm just playing. And I appreciate everybody riding this train with me right now. But I do feel like, yes, there are animals, plants, insects. We all have energy. So if we all have energy, there's got to be a soul within that energy. Not every possum is exactly the same. Not every dog is exactly the same. You see what I'm saying? Insects might be a different conversation, but you see what I'm saying. They're all different. They all have different personalities. They all react a certain way. They all like certain things. They all have a personality. If they have a personality, then they have energy. If they have energy inside their bodies, then therefore they have a soul. Now, what the woman did, weird as hell. Still weird as hell. Still weird as hell. But that's why I was like, well, what if she was doing him a favor? You know what I'm saying? What if? Just saying. It's kind of weird, but hey.
You're assuming the path that possum took throughout its life. You're saying that the path it was on was the wrong path, Pascal.
Well, you know what?
That he needed saving.
She was trying to convert them just like the Crusades. You see what I'm saying? But she was a little too late. Him did.
Was she the one that ran it over with a car too?
She probably was, because he was he was refusing the power of Christ, or whatever she was believing in, whatever ritual she was doing. You see what I'm saying?
Power of good compels you.
Yes. Power of good. Go. Oh, damn. Wait. We got to back up. Wait. Is it okay? Go. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, it's surely dead now. But anyway.
This reminds me a lot. This reminds me of, there was a time I was flying out to New Mexico, and a woman sat down next to me on the flight. And she was a pretty girl, kind of a hippie girl, looked like, your average yoga instructor or something like that.
Your type, basically, Tom?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, kind of.
Your
yeah.
type.
Well, we started chatting a little bit. And I think we were like maybe 10 minutes or so into the conversation or so. I think wheels had, we had just gotten to elevation. And she starts telling me, she's like, yesterday, a bird flew into the sliding glass window outside of my house and it then died. And I'm like, oh, that's horrible. And she's like, but, I went out and I forget what she described. She says, I had a Reiki ceremony for it. And I was like, oh, and I guess you can read me like a book. I do not have a poker face at all. So as soon as she said, this bird died after flying, I mean, if I remember correctly, when she said a bird flew into my sliding glass door, I think I started busting out laughing because I was like, and then she's like, and then I had a Reiki ceremony for it. And I guess my eyes just glazed over because she turned away from me real quick. I was like, oh, all right.
When you eye roll at someone directly,
Yeah, it's really hard when you're literally asses to elbows next to somebody on a small plane and they're looking right at you and they say, oh, yeah, I had a Reiki ceremony for this bird that flew into my window. And then I was like,
yeah. You're like, well, this conversation's over. You're clearly crazy. But wait a second. The sex would be amazing. What's up? How you doing? What's your number? That's crazy, though.
And then we joined the Mile High Club.
Exactly.
Tell us the rest of the story, Tom.
No, it was just 2 hours of dead silence after that.
That's hilarious. You canceled her so fast. I'm sorry.
I wasn't trying to be disrespectful. It's just I have no poker face at all. And when she told me that, I'm sure I rolled my eyes or bulged them out or, did that thing where it's like,
It's like, okay, that's crazy. That's a little crazy. Thank you for that information. Moving on. Oh my God. But the sex, I'm sure, would have been dope. You should have gotten her number. She probably would have been speaking in tongues whilst in action. You know what I mean? Russian and you never know. She might have made a tiny rain cloud over your head while you guys made love. Sweaty, nasty love. I'm just kidding. Anyway, you missed your shot, bruh. You missed your shot. You missed your shot.
Okay.
Mr. Super had a comment. I just thought it was interesting. Is a soul like a bank account? You make deposits and withdrawals, and when it's all finished, you check the balance. That is a stoner moment right there. Mr. Super smoked some weed in his life because that's a stoner moment. That is wait, man, does that mean like we're like a bank account and then when we go up to the big bank in the sky, we withdraw everything? Dope. See what I did there? Anyway.
You can say that about pretty much all religion. All religion
pretty much
sounds like somebody got real high and started trying to make sense of the world around them. I mean, I always like that opening scene in The Good Place where, Ted Danson is explaining what the world is, how it's constructed. And Kristen Bell says, did anybody ever get it right on Earth? Did any religion ever get it right? And he's like, well, there was this stoner in Wisconsin that took mushrooms. And one time he just launched into an idea while high on mushrooms about what the universe is really all about. And he was about 98% right.
And then after the high, he forgot everything, right? That's when he forgot everything. It's like, damn, we almost had him. We almost got one person to know what was going on. But anyway, moving on. What else is I'm enjoying these wacky conversations, the wacky news stuff. Thank you, and guys, for everybody who's watching right now, taking the time to watch the show and being a part of this conversation, I have to salute y'all. And the possum wants to salute you guys with his little paw. Thank you so much for taking the I'm sorry. I'm just looking at I'm thinking of a I'm sorry. Anyway, I just want to say I want to say thank you to everybody who is tuning in and just riding this train with us on some wacky news. We just need a little bit of vacation from all the stuff that's going on, all the BLM, the RONA, and all the crazy stuff that's going on. So anyway, what other nutty things is going on, man?
All right. Well, there is a sci-fi film that is in development now that will have an AI robot cast in the lead role.
A real AI robot.
That is correct.
Bruh. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's being developed by Bondit Capital Media, and then they have previously financed films such as To the Bone and the Oscar-nominated Loving Vincent that came out a few years back. The project was originally supposed to be directed by Tony Kaye, who directed American History X, but I guess he's dropped out of the project. But the project is going forward with an AI robot named Erica in the lead role.
That's dope. It will either be the most expensive movie ever made or the cheapest movie ever made. It just depends on how you look at it. And it depends on what the AI has to do. You see what I'm saying? So if it's just supposed to just be there, it might be the cheapest thing in the world, or it might be a really, really, really expensive movie.
It says $70 million.
$70 million.
$70 million. I mean, that's not new. You know what I'm saying? That kind of number. But I mean, I would say, what's like the average for like a Marvel movie, for example?
Oh, those are, you get in like
hundreds of millions,
dollars,
right?
then.
Yeah, hundreds of millions. So in a way, this is a cheap, in comparison to most movies, this is a pretty cheap sci-fi movie. So they're cutting back. And the thing is like, it makes you wonder the future of things, where things could go. Having robots or AIs doing, acting instead of actual human beings. I don't think that it'll ever get to that place, but shoot, you never know, crazier things have happened.
Yeah. There's a quote here. It says, this is from one of the developers on it, says, in other methods of acting, actors involve their own life experiences in the role, but Erica has no life experiences. She was created from scratch to play the role. We had to simulate her motions and emotions through one-on-one sessions, such as controlling the speed of her movements, talking through her feelings, and coaching character development and body language. So they're kind of doing a sort of method approach to it, where they're basically programming her to respond and act a certain way so that she feels it's real. It's a very strange.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting.
So the movie is called a B or Beta, I guess. Follows a scientist who discovers dangers associated with a program he created to perfect human DNA and helps the artificially intelligent woman he designed, Erica, escape.
So Ex Machina Part 2, basically, in a way.
Yeah, it sounds a lot like that.
Yeah, it kind of has that vibe, except they'll actually use a real AI instead of a actress to play the AI. That's going to be interesting. Wait
It's
till
going to have Oscar Isaac disco dancing with robots, though.
Right. Oh my God. I'll never forget that. I was like, what is this?
That's such a great scene.
What is this? Why is this happening right now? But why though? Why? you know? But that's interesting. I'm interested to see what happens. I'm interested to see what happens with that movie, you know? I mean, shoot, if they do that, man, give it time. I mean, there's going to be sex robots anytime soon. I mean, there's already sex robots, but I'm just saying that, like, as far as, like, adult films, I could see that venturing into that world at some point. It's going to be crazy.
Oh, don't tell that Twitch guy about it.
Yeah, no.
He's got enough troubles.
Dear God. Dear God, it'll break his penis off. That'll be not good. That'd be really, really bad. Crazy. But anyway, moving on to other things. Let's talk about this barista in Santiago, at a Starbucks barista. Let's talk about that one, because that's something I found very interesting as well. What's up with this, man?
Yeah, there's a barista out in San Diego, was confronted by, as they've come to be known, a Karen, a white entitled woman came into the store, and when he asked her, to please find a mask or put on a mask if she's going to be in the store, she flipped out, as so many of these people do. And I guess she filmed him thinking that, she was putting him on blast. But no, the barista has actually come out the winner in this one, thankfully. There was a GoFundMe page set up for the barista, and he's now made $95,000 in tips.
Bruh.
Dang. Yeah.
What?
Yep.
Holy God.
Yeah, he's at 95 grand just for enduring a Karen for a few minutes.
Now, let me ask you this. Do we have the actual video of the Karen saying this stuff and going off on this barista?
I could not find it. I have the article here, but I was not able to find the video right off the bat.
Wow. Because I would love to see that video, because obviously whatever she was doing, she was acting a damn fool, understandably. I mean, not understandably, but obviously she was acting a damn fool. And there was no reason for her to go crazy on him if he's just asking that it's a thing that they're asking every single person to do right now. So that's really nuts. But I'm glad that he got the hookup, though.
I guess it wasn't a video. It was a photo. I guess she snapped a photo of him and called him out by name and said, this guy wouldn't serve me because I wasn't wearing a mask.
Oh, that's just a special kind of stupid. Gotcha.
Yep. But he's at least $100,000 richer now.
Holy cow.
Hats off to him. He's an aspiring dancer. And, hopefully maybe he can pay for a couple of semesters of classes.
Now I was going to say he's going to be fouetting all the way to the bank right now with almost $100,000. Anybody know what fouette is? Okay, moving on.
It's strong, right? Or forceful, right?
Fouette. It's a dance move.
Okay.
It's a fouette. It's a spin. Yeah, it's a spin. It's a ballet move. It's a fouette. You know what I mean? Anyway, that's the only ballet dance move I know, or the term that I know of. So there you go, fouette.
I don't know any of them. I've thought about buying a dance belt before, but I've never done that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Keep it tight and strong. It's all about lines. You know what I mean? It's all about the lines. Making the lines strong and straight. You know what I'm saying? Anyway.
Pascal, I hear you know how to tap dance.
Oh, shit. You mean this show is a tap dance? So yes. I'm Fred Astaire up in this piece, man. You know what I mean? I'm Savion Glover up in this piece, man. You know what I mean? No love in the club. You know what I'm saying? Nobody. That's fine. That's fine. You it's okay. You guys can just not laugh and just smile on a show that's requires audio.
I could see you doing the Lord of the Dance stuff. What's that? Michael Flattery? What's his name?
Oh, yeah.
The Michael Flattery.
Yes.
No, I don't think. No,
Get them high kicks going.
That's stupid. What blows my mind is that man made millions. Whatever happened to him? I know that's
No
a left
idea.
turn right now, but whatever happened to that dude? Real talk, where did he go? Where did he go? Because everybody and their mama was all about Lord of the Dance. Everybody. I mean, he had different versions of it and everything. And he spanned the globe performing this stuff. Clogging. It was literally clogging onto techno beats. Pretty much. And people ate that ish up. Now it's, I know it's a left turn, but whatever happened to him?
He retired in 2016 due to constant knee, spinal, foot, and rib pain.
Yeah, I believe
one
that.
time his feet were insured for $57.6 million.
Yep.
He's in the Guinness World Book of Records for tap dancing 35 times per second.
Yeah. He performed at Donald Trump's inauguration.
Oh.
Excuse me?
Yes, he did. In January 2017, Flatley introduced his troupe for a performance at the inauguration of Donald Trump, which he called a great honor. And in 2018, Flatley wrote, directed, financed, and starred in a movie called Blackbird, a spy fiction movie set in the Barbados, Ireland, and the UK.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Was he clogging in that too?
I have no idea.
Was it a thriller while, like, instead of him running away, he was just, you know what I mean? Holding on to the villains, and they're all clogging together.
Yeah, he produced, directed, wrote the screenplay for it. He starred. Well, he had a role in it as Victor Blackley. I guess Eric Roberts was also in it with Patrick Bergen and Ian Beatty.
Oh wow, that's interesting. Eric Roberts was in that piece too.
Yeah,
that's what's up. Shout out to Eric Roberts, man.
Critics of it called it a vanity project and compared it to Tommy Wiseau's The Room.
Yeah.
So apparently it was extraordinarily bad.
Interesting.
What's his name? Michael
Flatley.
Flatley. Thank you, Flatley. Michael Flatley. Wow.
I got to leave you guys. I'll catch you tomorrow.
Oh, well, we hate you too.
I know. Love you, love you. See you.
Bye.
Take care, Jack.
That's interesting. That's interesting as hell. But you just never know where these people, you know what I'm saying? It's like he went from, tap dancing stuff to doing that. That's really interesting. That's really interesting. You just never know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wow. And of course he would perform at Trump's inauguration. Sorry to say that, but it's very well. You're not going to see a lot of black people going and seeing Riverdance.
Yeah,
it's Riverdance.
Strangely, Riverdance.
It's Riverdance, not Lord of Dance.
Russian
Riverdance.
prostitutes did to Trump in that bed, and I believe that's the technical term for that. That's what the professionals call that. It's a river dance.
God. Tis a river dance. Tis a river dance. Well, that's interesting. That is very interesting. Well, thank you for that random news. Now also going on to some sad news. Carl Reiner recently passed away. He passed away yesterday. We should definitely talk about that. Mel Brooks and Carl Reiner were very, 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 very good friends for a very long time, well over 70 years, if I'm correct. Mel Brooks spoke on his behalf, saying that Carl was a giant, unmatched in his contributions to entertainment. He created comedy gems. We've been best friends. So he recalled meeting Reiner in 1950 on Your Show of Shows, and he said that they've been best friends ever since. And there was no better straight man in the world. The bit became a regular thing for the duo. who went on to create hit albums and a book based on it, winning a Grammy in the process. And he said no one did it better. No one could do it better, than Reiner. And that's what Mel Brooks said. And I can only imagine, because we did talk about it briefly yesterday. Now I know that from my understanding, Mel Brooks and Carl Reiner were still, like, to this day, or up to his death, they were still hanging out. They lived next door to each other. They would hang out, watch movies. They did everything together. So I can only imagine how Mel Brooks is feeling right now. He must be heartbroken right now due to the passing of Carl Reiner, and it's sad news that he passed.
Yeah, they were good friends. They'd get together every night for dinner. They'd watch Jeopardy and watch a movie together. I mean, they were best of friends all the way up to the end.
Yeah.
I'm a little, obviously I was not alive when Sid Caesar's Show of Shows was on. I don't really know much of Carl Reiner in front of the camera. I mean, I've seen him in bit parts on, like, Parks and Rec. But I mean, The Jerk, I mean, I made a reference to that movie earlier in the show. It's one of the funniest.
It is hilarious. It is really hilarious.
Yeah, and I mean, if you like Steve Martin, there's a good argument to be made that his best work was done with Carl Reiner behind the camera. That once he stopped working with Carl Reiner, his movies were still good, but were they as good as The Man with Two Brains or The Jerk? I don't know.
No, The Jerk is amazing, and it's a classic. It's a classic Steve Martin movie, and it's dope. But I do remember him mostly from personally, where he pops up, and how I remember him is in the Ocean 11's movies. Now obviously for argument, you can throw up for argument's sake which one you like the most. Obviously the first one's always dope in my personal opinion. The remake, the Steven Soderbergh remake with Brad Pitt and George Clooney, but Carl Reiner was in that movie as well, and he did fantastic. He was always really great, and he was a great part of that movie. He did the damn thing in that movie as well. And it's funny that when you look at the laundry list of things that he has done, his career spans over decades of work, and that's an amazing thing. That's a very lucky thing to have, is to be able to get into a career that you love and being able to do it for as long as you can do it, and he's had a long life. I mean, born in 1922. I mean, that's 98 years old. That's a good long life, and a good long life of making really great entertainment and making people laugh. That's amazing. That's an amazing career to have. I think that's what a lot of people would like to have.
Oh, for sure. And there aren't many of those guys left now that were on that first wave of television, legends. And you can see the outpouring of condolences that have come out on Twitter. I mean, that's a full life.
That's an amazing life.
You got Dick Van Dyke, Steve Martin, Bette Midler, Alan Alda, William Shatner, Jerry Seinfeld, Billy Crystal, Ed Asner, Eugene Levy, Jason Alexander, Sarah Silverman, Ike Barinholtz, Stephen King, George Takei, John Cusack, John Lovitz, Paul Feig, Katie Couric, Ron Howard, Harry Shearer, John Cryer, Michael Ian Black, Sandra Bernhard. I mean, the list goes on of the people that were influenced by Carl Reiner, who respected his work.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Like I said, I think a lot of people wish that they could do the same thing, to have that kind of, leave a legacy behind that is just that will be there forever. It's amazing.
Yeah. So, that 2,000-year-old man bit is, I mean, it's just, I remember hearing that for the first time in college. My friend Jonah played it for me, and I was just dying. It's one of my fondest memories is, from my sophomore year of college is laughing my ass off with a 2,000-year-old man. Yeah. I think it was a cartoon that we watched. That they had put it to a cartoon, but it was so funny. Oh yeah, I mean that first wave of people that innovators in television. There not many of them left.
Yeah, there really isn't. There really isn't. Anyway, may he rest in peace, rest in heaven, and of course, the big, huge thank you for all the wonderful things he's done to contribute to the art of film, to the art of entertainment. May you rest in peace. We got to go into a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we got more news. We got more things to talk about, so we'll be right back. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.
Hey, take off Ms. Feinberg, I'd really appreciate it if you would close your legs.
Do you find it distracting?
Power, respect. The festival is crazy in the streets. Deception, the fakers and leaks. Entertainers are trucking for tweakers and losing their suckers. Their loves are unique. All of us under surveillance. We was a feeling they made it. Half of them stolen the road and they faded. They live in the road that's degrading for people that's constantly hated.
But you see how he makes these S's in his body right here? That's where he's hanging on, and then he's moving forward with the locomotion of his ribs. That is classic Missouri rat snake right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab him before he gets into a hole. Now, these snakes are not biters. They won't bite as long as you don't squeeze them. If you just stop them like this, it'll freeze them, and then you just gently pull them back. As long as you don't squeeze them, they won't bite.
Yo, Mike, what's up, man?
Guy? Good to see you, man.
Yeah, so Sugar Fire.
Yeah.
Fully open, right?
Yeah, we're pretty much open. So you can't sit inside yet. Monday you can sit inside a little bit. We'll have 25% of the tables inside, and then we're letting it rip outside.
So I know that there's a lot of people really concerned about staying safe and all of that.
No,
so what are you guys doing in regards to that?
Well, we have extra people to clean and rub everything down all the time. Everybody inside's wearing masks. And we have those little stickers on the ground so everyone can stay 6 feet apart.
Right on.
The tables are all spaced out, inside and outside.
Sugar Fire, open in full effect right now. They're staying healthy, they're staying clean. Go get you a rack of ribs. Sugar Fire, open right now.
Thanks.
The Fur and Leather Center, providing the highest of fur and leather goods.
I'm sorry, I can't make this interview boring because this man is too exciting as a host. And I'm truly saying this, and if y'all can't do this, me and this man here is gonna leave and go somewhere else so we can get some love. I want everyone in the building to say, I love Pascal on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Wow.
Homeowners and property managers, if you're looking for effective and humane ways to remove wild animals and deal with the damage that they have caused, we have good news for you. Introducing Wildlife Command Center, a professional nuisance wildlife management company specializing in providing animal removal for residential, industrial, and commercial clients. We are the only wildlife company that checks 70 different areas on a structure to determine the answers to the following questions. Exactly which animal are we dealing with? How is the animal getting inside the home? What kind of damage is the animal doing to the structure? Once we get the answers to all of these questions, we develop and write up an action plan to resolve the animal issue completely and provide a quote to implement that action plan. We perform a very in-depth 70-point wildlife inspection. From visually inspecting the highest point, the chimney, to physically crawling inside the attic space and looking for animals, chewed wires, fecal matter, chewed structural wood. We inspect everything. Our inspection process covers all of the following 70 points: animal-proof chimney cap, roof ridge vents, roof to soffit junctions, dormer fascia, attic gable vents, gutter lines, fascia trim, garage door, utility penetrations, water, gas, electric, and cable, bathroom vents, attic roof ridge vents, attic electrical, wiring, junctions, boxes, and lighting, concrete decks, additions, wooden crawl spaces, basement plumbing, penetrations, ceiling, floor, and wall. Wildlife Command Center's mission is to deliver the finest quality wildlife removal and pest control service that is safe for the environment. For more information, call us now.
Hey, welcome back. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And like I always say, if this is your first time checking out this show, please go crush that subscribe button on our YouTube channel. We do this show Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. And of course, I do a evening show at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time as well. So be on the lookout for those. We do those live. And then sometimes I pop up with a random pop-up video. So be sure to check those out. I would really, really appreciate it. Anyway, moving on, we got to get into this conversation. We got to go into this conversation. We got to talk about these things that are going on. Unfortunately, we gotta circle back, and because it seems like the country is circling back. There's a lot of states that are starting to shut down. They're starting to close or pause their reopening. More like they're not even pausing on the reopening. They're just hitting the rewind button and going back towards shutting down. Now, from my understanding, Arizona has shut down their state. I actually got a text from a friend of mine this morning saying that Phoenix is completely on lockdown now. And so I feel like it's only a matter of time that other states are going to follow in suit. California is on the brink of doing the exact same thing. Florida is on the brink of doing that exact same thing as well. They have changed things as far as like certain mandates and certain things, rules, as far as how long people can be out for, not curfews, but having bars and restaurants closed by midnight at night. Do you see a pattern here? Where it's kind of like the saga is repeating itself. We're playing a broken record here, and we're hitting repeat all over again. Anyway, so we got a little bit to talk about in regards to the RONA. So Tom, what's going on? Goldman Sachs said what?
Yeah, Goldman Sachs. They are saying that if we had a nationally mandated mask order, if it was put out by the federal government that everyone should wear a mask, it could save the economy from a 5% hit. Jan Hatzius, Goldman's chief economist, said I guess it's Jan Hatzius then. Jan Hatzius, Goldman's chief economist, said his team investigated the link between face masks and COVID-19 and economic outcomes. Goldman said a national mask mandate could raise the percentage of people who wear masks by 15 percentage points and cut the daily growth rate of cases by 1 percentage point to 0.6%. Hatzius then translated those results into GDP impact and found that a mask mandate could substitute for lockdowns that would subtract nearly 5% from growth. So basically what he's saying is, hey, if we all wear masks, we won't have to shut down as many industries, and we could save ourselves from a 5% hit to our GDP. He notes that in states like Arizona, there are only 40% of respondents in Arizona said they always wear masks compared to 80% in Massachusetts. And Massachusetts, because everybody's wearing masks, are able to reopen more businesses and get the economy moving faster than states like Arizona, where nobody wants to wear a mask and now everything has to be shut down and they're going to lose money on it.
Mm-hmm.
So they found that they said the results are large and highly significant and show that state mask mandates raise a percentage of people who say they always or frequently wear masks by 25 percentage points in the first 30 days. So when they put in these masks within 30 days, or when they put in these mask orders, within 30 days of putting in the mask orders, the number of people that always wear masks goes up by 25%. And after 30 days, that number goes up by 40%, or goes up by 40%. So basically they're saying, if you wear the mask, we don't have to shut everything down and the economy doesn't have to take a hit. It seems logical and sound to me.
Here it is. Obviously, things are, ish is hitting the fan. People are getting sick. We all see this. The numbers are going up. Now, there are people who are saying that the numbers are going up because we have more testing abilities. We have more tests out, so people can go and get tested and get the results of having or not having said virus. Now, I understand that argument, absolutely, and I'm not against what that argument, that logic, because that is some logic for sure. But at the same time, it's real. It's out there. People are really getting sick. I know people that have it and they're getting through it, and it sucks. The masks are important. Unfortunately, if we want to be out and do what we need to do, it's clearly showing that statistically, at least speaking, what Tom just said, is that it's helping. So maybe we put on the masks. Maybe we go back to where we were, go back to back to square one, where we do a little bit of a lockdown, just a tiny bit of a lockdown, and see what happens. What sucks and what's very unfortunate and what's frustrating to me is that this could be us for the rest of the year. This could be us for however long it takes for any vaccination to be made, if there ever will be one. Because if you really think about it, there are now Fauci has been on the mic recently, and unfortunately he's been the bearer of bad news as well. And that's his job, unfortunately. Either he's going to be on there to tell us good news, or he's going to be there to give us bad news. And right now he's giving us bad news, and it also is surrounding around the cases and what his thoughts are and what his predictions are coming up in the near future as far as daily cases. What say you, Tom?
Yeah, Fauci yesterday was testifying. He said that the United States is going in the wrong direction with the coronavirus, and it's surging in places. He said that there are some regions that are just being outright irresponsible, putting the entire country at risk. And he said, just as we're starting to try and get kids going back to schools and colleges, numbers are going up because nobody's taking it seriously anymore. Says there are currently about 40,000 new cases being reported a day. And he said he would not be surprised if we go up to 100,000 new cases a day if this doesn't turn around. He said he was very concerned. This was all at a Senate Health, Labor, and Pensions Committee event where he was testifying before it. And he said, we've got to get the message out that we're all in this together. And, says that everybody's got to be on board and be safe. He wants to do whatever he can do to get children back to school in the fall. And we were talking yesterday, the American Academy of Pediatrics laid out their argument on why children need to go back to schools. But that's going to be difficult to do if people are just pretending like nothing's going wrong and have their heads buried in the sand. Or just pretending like this is 2019 or a year that didn't suck. So
listen, man, who is going to want to comfortably put their child in school in August? I don't care if you are I don't care if you're the worst parent in the world, all right, or the most selfish parent in the world. There is no way that you could literally be okay with your child going back to school when we say shut down again this month. You realize it's the first of the month. Wake up, wake up, wake up. It's the 1st of July, y'all. It's the 1st of July. School starts at the end of August. So, most schools start at the end of August. Sorry. Or late August. I'm sorry. And some schools start in September. Last time I checked, I ain't got no kids. So, this is all, I could be wrong. But from my understanding, you're telling me, and I'm not saying this to you, Tom. I'm just saying this rhetorically.
Mm-hmm.
See what I did there?
Yes.
This is rhetorical. So you're telling me, so you don't have to answer. Okay, so you're telling me, that that by the end of July, we're gonna be okay? I'm just saying, if they shut these doors, if these states shut doors, you're telling us that we're gonna be able to bounce back, have ring, school's back for school. You really telling me that we're gonna be ready in August, in late August? I doubt it. I hella doubt it. There's no way. We're suddenly going to bounce back and everything's going to be fine in late August? Bruh, it's been 4 months, 3 months, 4 months. How long it been? How long has it been? It's been a long time. Let's just say that. And we still haven't gotten it figured out. So you're going to tell us we're going to click and drag our kids back to school so that they go RONA themselves out there? Hell to the no. Any right-minded person, right-minded parent is not going to be okay with doing that. That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane.
Well, as long as the numbers keep going up. But
exactly.
I mean, if people got on top of it and they started being responsible, wearing masks, socially distancing, washing their hands, doing all the really simple stuff that people have been saying to do forever now, that, like a bunch of insolent children, there are adults out there being like, I don't want to wear my mask.
Of course.
And now we're the embarrassment of the developed world, where we're being banned from entering the European Union and stuff like that. But if people put on their big boy or big girl pants for a couple of months before the start of the school year, yeah, we could see a dramatic drop in new cases. But when you've got the president of the United States out there who's throwing these giant rallies and contradicting his own head of the CDC and putting out all this misinformation and trying to make it some sort of a political argument or political statement to not wear a mask and just be a basic, decent human being that cares about his fellow human being, it muddies the water. It's too bad we have that unique strain of American ignorance that manifests itself in grown adults being like, I don't want to wear my mask.
Right. Oh,
So
of course,
here
because
we are.
they are going to be an extension of their parents. They're going to be an extension of their influences that are going on behind closed doors. So if they're sitting there going, I got my rights. Oh, my dear God. The BS that's going to come out. And I'm telling you right now, if they have to implement masks in school of any sort and that kind of stuff happens, wait for baby Karens to come out. Wait for the baby Kens to come out. Wait for the baby Costco Kevins to come dropping from the sky. Videos like that are going to go crazy. I'm telling you right now. There's going to be a lot of craziness going on because a lot of the kids are listening to their parents. The parents are the biggest influence in their lives. So they're going to go back out there and they're going to be like, hey, you're taking away my rights. You're taking away my freedoms. There's plenty of kids out there that are going to repeat what they hear from home.
Yeah. So
then you're going to have all this BS going on. Then there's going to be, oh my God, I can see protests going on inside of schools. I can see the start of some terrible, terrible stuff. And real quick, let me answer this question because MB just asked a question. I'm finding it real quick. He says, can you guys in the USA get a test real easy? Yes. Nowadays we can. Now we can. But there was a good moment there where tests were running out. I went and got tested last week. I came out negative. I'm fine. But at the same time, a lot of places still have a 3 to 4 day wait. There are some places in the US where you can go and get same day results. So it does exist, but you have to go and find them. You really have to find it. I went there. It took me 4 hours to finally get tested, and it took another hour to find out to get my results, you know? And so I highly recommend any person that's out there that either has been around people or has been around somebody who has contracted it or has been traveling a lot or any of those things to go get tested, you know? So, I mean, I highly recommend that. So yes, in the US, you can get tests now.
Yeah.
For sure. Now, we need to look at the reality of it all right now and we got to look down the barrel of this gun that we are basically standing in front of still to this day. And it's called the coronavirus, okay? Double barrel shotgun straight to the face, and we keep on trying to find ways to get around it. The thing is that we got to figure out what we need to do so that we can put that situation to bed. And us being so, the country being so hell-bent on trying to get kids back into school is not going to solve anything. Maybe we eradicate what's going on first before we start putting kids back in school. Because I guarantee you, those schools are going to be petri dishes. Those schools are going to be ground zero real quick. We talked about this yesterday. Even a Planet Fitness had to tell 205 people that went into that gym that day that they had to go and self-quarantine because there was somebody that actually had the COVID, walked in there and worked out. Come on, y'all. So imagine that with school. They're going to do that every single time somebody contracts the COVID. Kids are not going to even be able to learn not a damn thing. They'll be too busy on and off and on and off and on and off. Do they have it? Do they not have it? Do they have it? Do they not have it? That's insane.
I think it seems insane to send kids back to school now because, new cases are surging. But had we been responsible and people acted like adults about this very adult situation that's going on right now, had people taken it seriously and listened to scientists instead of charlatan politicians, then we probably would be able to send kids back to school and not really have to worry too much about it. I imagine most schools over in Europe where they've taken it seriously, I imagine there isn't quite, there's probably still anxiety about sending kids back to school, but not like there is here because there's this unique strain of American ignorance, this, don't tread on me mentality that extends to wearing a mask of all things. It's just Americans just shooting themselves in the foot, making things much harder than they need to be by their own stubbornness and stupidity.
Yeah. That's why I just, don't get me wrong. I want the country to be open so badly. You have no idea. I want this country open so bad. I just want life to get back to normal, or at least some semblance of normalcy. I would love to have things go back to normal. But at the same time, I'm worried about the children. Because no matter what, those kids go back to school, they go run around, they bring that stuff back home to the parents. The parents are going to work. Because if the schools are open, then that means work should be open too, right? So then they're going out. Those kids are coming back with the COVID. The COVID's going to the parents. The parents are going out to work. They're giving the COVID to their coworkers, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's something that we don't need to be doing. And then the other thing is like what Shanique was saying on here, the president doesn't wear his mask. He's not willing to wear a mask. So if he's not implementing it, then everybody else who's watching that and is a Trump supporter is sitting there going, yes, we agree. F everybody else. I'm going to do me because how dare you tell me what to do? This is America. I got my freedoms and I got my rights. And then the saga just like I said, it's a broken record and we're back at Groundhog's Day. You know what I mean? Put your little hand in mine. Boop. Are you serious? We're back here again? You like what I did there, Tom?
I did.
Thank you. Thank you. You must be proud. Thank you. But anyway, you see what I'm saying?
Movie.
It's a great movie. But we don't need it in real life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You
The
know?
writer of that movie taught at my college for a little bit.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Random left turn knowledge, but that's good. You know what I mean?
Right.
Go ahead.
But this,
Go ahead, Tom. Go ahead, Mike.
Well, we were talking yesterday. I mean, it is important to get kids back to school, and the American Academy of Pediatrics was saying that, a lot of times in cases of abuse and neglect, teachers are the first line of defense against that. They'll notice a kid isn't acting properly, or, whatever. They aren't able to observe the children if the children are being taught from home. They aren't able to see that. So, when you got kids that are stuck at home, they may be stuck there with abusive parents, whether physically or sexually.
Yeah.
When these kids are outside of school for that long, they may turn to drugs. They may become depressed because they aren't around their friends.
That's true too. Mental health is a big thing.
There are a ton of reasons why kids should go back to school.
Yeah.
And we should be able to send them back to school. The risk should be, at this point, low enough that it's a risk, but not, a terrible one. But since nobody's doing anything to stop the spread, well, not nobody, but since so many people in this country are taking no precautions about this at all and are just going about their lives like nothing's going on, we can't do that because cases are skyrocketing because of people's ignorance.
Yeah, that's why it's very frustrating to me when people when people come onto the show or just in life in general, and they get so hell-bent on, they get into their feelings rather than looking into what's the facts that are being laid out in front of us. And don't get me wrong, I totally understand, like what you just said, like without them being able to go to schools, without them being able to interact with other people, yes, a lot of things, an onslaught of things could just be, a tidal wave of stuff can happen. Let's throw in cabin fever in there as well. There's you can get an onset of agoraphobia as well. Let's not forget that as well, because there are people who are going to be out there that are going to get so scared of going out, even just going outside or even having human interaction because they're scared of contracting the COVID. You see what I'm saying? Because they have to stay home and do school or do everything from home. That even the idea of stepping out their front door could be the most terrifying feeling in the world. And we don't want to implement that. We don't want to instill those things into our children. Of course not. But unfortunately, the numbers are going. And there are more and more people getting sick. We thought that, hey, the summer is going to solve everything. The summer is going to make everything be all right. The sun and the heat and all that's going to eradicate this thing. Hell to the no, it didn't.
No.
Didn't do a damn thing. Oh, UV light and the heat and the sun and the not a damn thing.
No.
We are still at square one.
They don't have a lot of sunlight in Arizona, where cases are skyrocketing right now.
Not at all.
Arizona's not really known for their heat or sun.
No, there's no heat. There's no sun. It's really snowy over there. Right. Yeah. No. It looks like Mars, for crying out loud. Arizona.
It's a hellscape. I can't imagine anyone wanting to live in.
And it's terrible. And it's still thriving to the point where Arizona is going to be shutting their doors. California, same thing. Yes, they have multiple different climates there. It's a very large state. But at the same time, shoot, man, they're going to start shutting the doors too. And we all thought the summer was going to come in and go, destroy this ish. Enemy Nation just asked a question real quick before we leave the show. I think this is a good question, and Tom, so I'm going to throw this to you, okay? Mm-hmm. He says, please tell us what percentage of population has died because of COVID. Now, Enemy Nation, my question is to you. You talking about the population of the world, or are you talking about the population percentage of the U.S. of A? Those are two different questions, so definitely let me know before we go into a deep dive. You know what I mean?
I'm doing some math. Talk amongst yourselves.
Yes,
here for a
no,
minute.
no worries, man. No worries.
Get that taken care of.
No worries, because
It's not going to be a big percentage.
I mean, it's not
of
gonna,
people that have died.
It's not going to be huge, but at the same time, it is something that people are getting sick from. You know, and I already know where Enemy Nation's going. You know what I mean? I'm picking up what he's putting down. That's why I'm asking those questions, worldwide or USA. Then also at the same time, you got to remember, yes, I understand that the flu, we're going to compare it to the flu and all that. I get that. But I'm saying this is something that people are still getting. People are still getting it even during this time. There's still a flu season, and then people get sick during that time. A vast majority of people get sick during that time, and then it dies out because of heat, sun, etc., right? Change in temperature, you know? The flu virus dies because of heat, sun, all that. Coronavirus don't. People are still getting it. You know, there are reports of people actually getting it again. That they have gotten it before and they're getting it again. That's nuts. That's nuts. But go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, well, the total number of, as a percentage, the people that have died of COVID so far, and I keep in mind, this has only been around for, 6 months, is 0.04% of the population of the United States has died of COVID. So it's small.
Okay.
It's 0.04% of the population.
0.04. Okay.
0.04% of
Interesting.
the population.
Of America.
Of America.
Okay. Because I had Tano Vane just said it's roughly 0.3%. Of Americans. 0.3. We have 0.04. I don't know if that's right. Not you.
I don't know.
I'm talking about Tano.
I saw where it was 129,000 people had died out of the U.S. population. I ran that math. It came out to 0.039%.
Yeah. I wasn't talking about you, Tom. I was talking about Tano Vane. I don't know if his math was complete. There we go. He said 0.03, I mean. Okay, so here it is. I understand that it's not like some vast, large amount of people that have died, but there are people who are still contracting it. You see what I'm saying? People are still getting it. People are still getting sick. Yeah, there might not be as many deaths now because I feel like people have figured out, science, doctors have figured out how to deal with this. Also, it's also dropping the demographics. It's not going to 70-year-old men and women right now. It's going to the people who are in their 30s, 20s, teens. Low, you know, it's getting to the youths, the Utes. Yeah. You know what I mean? As my cousin Vinny would say. You know, these two Utes. You know what I'm saying? So it's getting down there, y'all. So I mean, the thing is I get it that you know, the numbers, you know, we can go numbers all day long, but it is something that people are still getting, you know, to right now, even during summertime, which we all expected. Come summertime, we gonna be fine. It's like flu season, y'all. You know, we're gonna treat it just like the flu, but it ain't the flu. It's a totally different strand.
Yeah. And I also want to point out, okay, sure, it's 0.04% of the population has died from this.
Yeah.
That doesn't take away from the fact that it's 129,000 people have died from a preventable disease.
Yeah.
This is almost 130,000 people. How many people died on 9/11? Like what, 4,000 or 5,000? This is 130,000 people have died.
Yeah.
It's nothing to sneeze at as a percentage.
Don't sneeze at it.
But there are 130,000 people that have lost, you know, there are 130,000 people who were somebody's, you know, father or mother or son or daughter or brother. This is 130,000 people. We're just going to sneeze at that and say, that's nothing.
Yeah.
That's a huge number.
Yeah, it's a very huge number. And like I said,
I mean, yeah, if you take it as a percentage of population, you can make it look like not much, but 130,000 people is a lot of people.
Yeah.
By any measurement.
Here it is. If it gets to the point, if it turned into the point where states are actually shutting things down, that says something. When Europe actually shuts down a U.S. travel ban, not allowing Americans to fly into Europe right now, that says something. There's a lot of things that are happening right now that show that this is something like really serious. Whether you get the corona and you get through it, jump back and kiss yourself 17 times because you are one lucky son of a gun. You know, there's still people that are dying from it right now to this day, young people and old. So, you know, as much as we could sit here and argue about, flu, it's, flu numbers to corona numbers, I get that. But at the same time, like, I think that, I think that it is a disease that it is a virus that we don't understand fully yet. And so, yes, of course, there's caution. Of course, there's people wanting to pump the brakes. And I'll tell you this, to anybody that's watching this show right now, whether you agree with the numbers or not, you're not going to sit there and let your child go out to school in a virus-ridden place. You're going to want to make sure your kids are okay. You're going to want to make sure that your kids are out of harm's way, regardless of numbers, regardless of statistics. That's all, But anyway, we have to get going. Okay, go ahead.
I mean, again, I just want to point out, 130,000 people is I almost cursed. Is a lot. It's a crap load of people.
Right.
58,000 Americans died in the Vietnam War. That was a 10-year-long war. We're 6 months into this, and more than twice as many people have died already. This isn't anything to sneeze at.
I was going to say
it's insulting to the families that have lost people through COVID. Yeah. 128,000 families that have lost people to this.
Yeah.
I think it's insensitive to sneeze at that.
Yeah. Or actually, in this case, you can't really sneeze at it because then people start covering in fear.
Right.
So you don't want to sneeze at it. But we get what you're saying. Here it is. The thing is that what Tom just said, I'm just going to piggyback off of that. The numbers, yes, we can talk about numbers all day long, but it is something that we still don't understand, and we have to we have to look at the cases and look at the situation that we're in right now. There is no vaccinations for it. There is a vaccination for flu strands, not all of them, but there still are vaccinations out there for those things. We don't have anything for this thing. We still don't know. We're still learning about this thing. It is a weird, crazy virus that we're still trying to get a grasp on. And so, of course, what happens when you don't know something or you have something that you don't understand? A lot of fear happens, understandably. And I think that we need to start acting accordingly in regards to how we approach this particular virus. We shouldn't have opened the country as quickly as we did. I understand it's summer, but I think we should have pumped the brakes and waited for a little bit before we actually dove all the way in. But now we're suffering from the repercussions of the decisions that we made earlier this month. So, anyway.
I still see people in the chat that are talking about, there's this many people die from medical malpractice or die from non-COVID diseases.
Right. But
let me finish my thought. Okay. Here's the thing. The COVID deaths are preventable. We know how to prevent this, and assholes are out there going out with no mask, pretending like nothing's wrong. This isn't like, we're just going to accept this as a new 130,000 people that die every 6 months. No, this is something we can prevent, something we can shut down. But we're not doing it because we're ignorant, stupid Americans embarrassing ourselves on the national stage again.
Totally agree. We're going to get going. Tom, thank you so much for being on. I really appreciate it. Thank you. We will continue this conversation, obviously, as we go. Tomorrow, we'll be back on 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and commenting down below. If you haven't done it yet, hit that like button down below. And, of course, crush that subscribe button. We got to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And we'll see you later on today at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.
Ms. Feinberg, I'd really appreciate it if you would close your legs.
Do you find it distracting?
Power, respect. The festival is crazy in the streets. Deception, the fakers, and leaks. Entertainers are trucking for tweakers and losing their self because their loves are unique.
But you see how he makes these S's in his body right here? That's where he's hanging on, and then he's moving forward with the locomotion of his ribs. That is classic Missouri rat snake right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab him before he gets into a hole. Now, these snakes are not biters. They won't bite as long as you don't squeeze them. If you just stop them like this, it'll freeze them, and then you just gently pull them back. As long as you don't squeeze them, they won't bite.
Yo, Mike, what's up, man?
Big guy? Good to see you, man.
Yeah, so Sugar Fire.
Yeah.
Fully open, right?
Yeah, we're pretty much open. So you can't sit inside yet. Monday you can sit inside a little bit. We'll have 25% of the tables inside, and then we're letting it rip outside.
So I know that there's a lot of people really concerned about staying safe and all of that.
No,
so what are you guys doing in regards to that?
Well, and we have extra people to clean and rub everything down all the time. Everybody inside's wearing masks. And we have those little stickers on the ground so everyone can stay 6 feet apart.
Right on.
The tables are all spaced out, inside and outside.
Sugar Fire, open in full effect right now. They're staying healthy, they're staying clean. Go get you a rack of ribs. Sugar Fire, open right now.
Thanks.
The Fur and Leather Center, providing the highest of fur and leather goods.
You're gonna perform
I'm sorry,
tonight.
I can't make this interview boring because this
No, it's
man
not
is
boring.
too exciting as a host. And I'm truly saying this, and if y'all can't do this, me and this man here is gonna leave and go somewhere else where we can get some love. I want everyone in the building to say, I love Pascal on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.